So, deep in the Hebrew Bible, there's this story about the Mishkan, the tabernacle. It's this amazing portable sanctuary they built out in the desert. But here's the thing. Hidden inside its super detailed blueprints is this massive puzzle. It's a contradiction in the timeline that could change everything we think we know about why it was built in the first place.
And this is the heart of the mystery, right? On the surface, the story seems pretty simple. The Israelites get the Torah, then God tells them to build the tabernacle, and after that, they mess up big time with the golden calf. But a lot of the great ancient thinkers, like Rashi, looked at this and said, wait a minute, this is all out of order. They argued that the whole golden calf fiasco happened first, and the tabernacle was commanded in response to it. So which one is it? The order here changes everything.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, who cares about some ancient scheduling conflict? But this is way more than just a history lesson. This whole debate, it actually unlocks a huge secret about how our minds work. It's about our deep, desperate need to connect with ideas that are, bigger than us. And depending on which timeline is correct, we get two totally different pictures of our relationship with the divine.
Okay, so let's dive into that first theory. This is the one that says the timeline in the book is all mixed up. And in this version of the story, the tabernacle wasn't some grand, perfect plan from the start. Nope, it was more like a divine plan B, a concession to human weakness.
To really get this, we've got to go back to Mount Sinai. The people there had this incredible spiritual high. I mean, it was a direct, unfiltered connection to a God who is infinite and totally formless. The sources even describe it as this out-of-body experience, just pure understanding. They didn't need any props, no statues, no special buildings to connect. They just got it.
Yeah, but that high, it didn't last. As soon as Moses was gone up the mountain for a while, people started to panic. And what they did next is what's so fascinating. Their intention wasn't evil. They weren't trying to invent a new god to worship. They were just trying to create a physical tool, like a focal point, to help them get back to that huge, formless feeling they had. But it backfired, big time. The very thing they made to point to the infinite became a finite little idol.
And that right there, according to Theory 1, is the whole reason for the tabernacle. It was God's answer to that failure. It was like saying, okay, I get it. It was an admission that we as finite human beings really struggle to connect with something infinite without, something physical to hold on to.
The logic here is pretty straightforward. It's basically God saying, all right, you guys feel like you need a physical thing, an image. You've already proven you can't be trusted to make one yourselves without messing it all up. So, fine. You're going to build one for me, but you're going to do it exactly my way, down to the last tiny detail.
And let me tell you, the details are just overwhelming. I mean, pages and pages of them. But why? Well, think about it. The sheer number of rules and measurements forced the builders to always be thinking about the one who gave the commands, not the thing they were building, right? It's like, if I tell you to build a house any way you want, you'll get wrapped up in your own ego, your own creativity. But if I give you 1,000 tiny rules, your mind is always snapping back to, okay, what did the boss want again?
So here's the kicker for this theory. The tabernacle basically became an anti-idol idol. It's a paradox, right? It's a physical thing for sure, but it's so incredibly complex, so loaded with rules, that it's almost impossible to worship the thing itself. Every detail forces your mind to look past the object to the one who designed it.
Okay, but what if the story is exactly in order? What if the timeline is correct as written? That brings us to theory number 2. This one's pushed by thinkers like Nachmanides, and it goes in a completely different direction. It says the command to build a tabernacle came before the golden calf ever happened.
And if you look at it this way, the tabernacle wasn't a plan B for human failure. Not at all. It was the total opposite. It was a way to capture that incredible, peak spiritual moment from Sinai, that amazing, formless connection, and bottle it. To make it tangible, something you could carry with you, something real in your day-to-day life. So this isn't about fixing a mistake, it's about building on a huge success.
And this is where it gets really mind-bending. According to this theory, the tabernacle's architecture isn't just a plan for a building, it's actually a blueprint for the human mind.
Okay, so picture this. The tabernacle had 3 main areas. First, you have the outer court. It's loud, it's chaotic, there are animal offerings, it's all about physical action. This represents our body, the world of doing. Then you move one layer in to the holy place. Here it gets quieter. It's more about the senses, the smell of incense, the light from the menorah, maybe some music. This is like our heart, our emotional world. And then you get to the center, the Holy of Holies,
and it's just total silence, stillness. The only thing in there is the tablets with the law, a pure abstract idea. This, of course, is the mind.
So you see what's happening? The journey into the heart of the tabernacle is really a journey into yourself. You're moving from the noisy outside world of your actions, through the quieter world of your emotions, and finally into the silent core of your own mind. That sanctuary's blueprint, it's a map of you.
So, we've got these two totally conflicting theories. What do we do with them? One says structure is basically a crutch because we're weak. The other says it's a tool to express our greatest strengths. And this ancient argument isn't really about a tent in the desert. It's asking a huge question about where our deepest values truly live. And it forces us to look at the rituals in our own lives today. So I'm asking you, which is it? Think about the rituals and routines in your own life. Daily meditation, going to the gym, that weekly family dinner. Are those things a concession? Are they a crutch that you need because it's too hard to grasp big ideas on your own? Or are they the actual method, the way you take those big abstract ideals and make them real, make them tangible, and bring them into your life? In the end, the text itself gives us this amazing clue. The verse doesn't say, "Make me a sanctuary so I can dwell in it." It says, "And I will dwell amongst them." The goal was never for God to be contained in some fancy building made of wood and gold. The real goal was for that divine presence to be felt inside the people. And that's really the question I want to leave you with. It's not just about some ancient sanctuary. It's about us, right now. All those structures we build in our lives, our habits, our traditions, our daily routines, are they just a crutch, a sign of our limitations? Or are they something more? Are they the bridge that lets us take our highest, most beautiful, and transcendent ideas and actually bring them down to earth?